Well, this is not fun. Got a call from a renter, water dripping from the ceiling. So I got to crawl up in the attic to see why that's happening. Something to do with the air handler way out there. But what I want to show you is the temperature we're dealing with. It's 150 degrees in this attic. Wow, that is warm. So probably lose some weight, you think? So let's crawl in here and see what I can find. Baby, is it hot? Okay, I see some of the problem. See, we got water in the tray here. So that's not working out. It's not supposed to be there. And it's so hot in here. These 2x4s are about burning you touching the stupid things. So I got to get to the other side, try to figure out what's going on here. Okay, back up in here again. I don't know how long this is going to record because it's so hot it shuts my camera down. And you see we got no water there, but we've got water standing in this tray. So I got to get this cleaned out, take loose. I don't know what I got to get into, but I got to get that water flowing again so this doesn't happen anymore. And I got me a device so it doesn't happen again. Come here. I got a float switch, so I'm going to install that. So if this ever happens in the future and water gets into that tray like it is right now, this tray, if it overflows, that switch will kill the power to the thermostat, shutting everything down. So we'll get to it and see if we can't get it unplugged. So here's the result. When water drips out of your drip pan, this is what happens. So I'm going to wedge that up till it dries so it don't come falling down on me. So I'm going to have to stay there for a few days till it dries out good. I'm going to go back upstairs and let the phone actually quit working. It got so hot it shut itself down. I guess 150 degrees is just a little bit too much for a phone. Okay, you can see it's better. I'm up here 9 o'clock at night. Now it's only 104 degrees. So it's much more comfortable. I can deal with this a little bit easier. And you can see I've cleaned the coil. Nice and shiny. Got some acid here. Sprayed it on there. The water's got the water drained out. Got the blockage cleared. All the water's flowing out good. And so now I got to just get in here and tape all this back together really good so it's efficient. It's an old unit. This thing is 40 years old. The inside unit is. It's a 40-year-old train unit. The outside unit was replaced a few years back. But this thing is still going somehow, some way. Okay, I'll try to hurry up because it's stinking hot up here. But you can see I've got the top back on here. And one thing I've done, this is something any homeowner can do, is to make sure your air handler is sealed tight. Got really good tape on it, not duct tape, but actually this foil tape. It's really sticky to get a good seal. Because in this example, because you can see we're up in the attic, it's 150 degrees up here. When your air unit is on, there's always a suction in this box, negative pressure. It's trying to pull air through all these gaps and holes. And especially if your filter, see that's your cold air return. This goes down into like the hallway, and there's a filter just below this box. And that filter gets dirty, it creates more and more suction, so it starts trying to pull this air through all these gaps. And remember, this air is 150 degrees. It gets in, anything that gets entered into your airstream is 150 degree air that then again has to try to be cooled down to like 62 or 65 degrees, which is very difficult, and you're just going to run forever trying to keep your house cool. So this is something you can do. Find your air handler, if it happens to be even under your crawl space or in your attic. Of course, do it when it's not so stinking hot like today. So make sure it's good and tight seal everywhere. And that'll help you keep your utilities down. Now, back to my flooding issue. You can see all the water is evaporated out of the pan now. So I've got this device right here. There's a little float switch. So to prevent this from ever happening again, I'm going around. I'm going to do this to all my other properties also, rental properties, so this doesn't happen. I got several of these where the unit's up in the attic. And years ago when they installed them, they didn't install these float switches. But this little safety device, what it will do, so I got these two wires here. I just tap these two wires into the power wire. This is the 24-volt power wire that supplies the contactors, relays, and everything. Normally red is the wire, so I haven't checked it. I'm just taking a chance. So I'm hoping when I cut this wire, it'll kill the air, because you can hear it running. So if it kills it, I know I've got it right. It did. Okay, so I've got the correct wire. So now I'll tap into that And because the float switch is in the lower position, it will turn around and come back on. But if there's ever a leak in the future, as soon as the water level hits there and it raises that float up, it's going to break the connection and turn power off. So I don't have to worry about ever having another flood. So let me get this thing wired up real quick and then we'll test it. Okay, you see I've got it wired up. You can't wire it up wrong. It doesn't matter which way you hook which wire which. So I've got that done. Got the float switch installed. I made me a little shim because it was a little bit loose, so I made it a little bit tighter. So you can see how it will work. The float. I can get you a little closer. Up and down. All right, so I'm gonna kick the breaker on here. All right, she's coming on. All right, and then I'll show you. If we have a flood in the future, the water starts rising up, this little float rises, it should kill the power. Just like that. Sure, I got to hold it here for a few seconds. I can't just drop that back in because I don't think this thermostat has a delay on it. It'll short cycle the compressor. So I'm going to wait a few seconds here before I drop it in. But you get the idea. And then I'll go downstairs. I'll put the sticker on the thermostat as a warning in the future if it's not working to come upstairs or climb up in the attic and check this switch. Anyways, something you might want to think about and do to yours. Thanks for watching. Have a cool day because it's hot today here.